Now let me go into the most common mistakes, and I want to do this at first just because, you know, whenever we're like being a fighter, we're kind of ramping up, sometimes it's good to have a little reality check. And the problem with most inventing and why many inventions do not make money is not because the inventors did the wrong thing. It's because they did the right things in the wrong order. There is a methodology to sequence that matters. Think about landing an airplane. If you bring an airplane in, you have a sequence of events that need to happen for you to land that plane successfully. If you put down the landing gear when it's not supposed to be down, you know, that could be detrimental. If you raise it up when it's not supposed to be raised, that could be detrimental. That same dynamic occurs with inventing, and so learning the sequence is important. Now, the sequence in inventing is more like a science, and as we know in inventing, there's a big art to it as well. It's an art and a science. So, you know, whether you do this step or that step in a different order, there is some leeway there, and there's some amount of luck or divine providence, whatever you want to call it, to having a product that makes money. But if you completely mess up the sequence, like most inventors do, it can be very expensive. So this is something back in my day of working with the UIA. They had launched this, here's a proper sequence kind of steps, and it's fine. I like it. I don't have any issue with it at all. But what I saw from my 8 years working with inventors is that most people immediately go to a patent attorney or a product developer because that's what they think they're supposed to do first. So they go and they burn $1,200 to $10,000 on a patent. They burn $1,000 to $10,000 on prototypes. They burn another $10,000 to $30,000 on molds. Then they think they're going to be really smart because everybody can go to China, and why wouldn't I start manufacturing when I can have these Skype calls on China and tell all my friends I'm talking to people in another country? And so they start to spend $30,000 to $50,000 on a small run production. And then another $2,000 to $10,000, they do a website and a video, and they start to sell them. They got a garage full of them. And what they realize when they start selling them is that the market wants blue, and you have a garage full of green. So what do you do? You're tapped out, you've got a lot of cash out, and you've got to shove blue down the market's throat, because that's what you've got. And so what the problem is this step 1 and step 2 of the UIA's recommendation, the idea validation and the evaluation research. The problem is there's really not that many, if any, good sources to validate your idea before you move forward. So, you know, we all do Google and we do Amazon and we do patent searches, and that's really the extent of the resources most of us have available to us, but that's not how it is in big corporate America. There's an extensive amount of other resources available, and that's some of what I'm going to share with you today. The funding, that's always an issue. That's an issue for everybody. So